Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Jeff and you are at hayfrosells. I am hayfro or fro, and I sell stuff. I pretty much have sold stuff my entire life. And I sell a lot on eBay right now. That's the main platform that I sell stuff on, and hopefully this time next year I will have been able to reduce my exposure to eBay based on the challenges that have come, and I'm sure there are more coming. Today's video is going to be all over the place. I'm going to talk about how that item that was taken down was resolved. Hint, I won, but not without a bunch of hassles. We're gonna take a look at. I'm going to introduce a new YouTube channel that is from a viewer that I met last week, and I think he really did a very good job demonstrating through complete transparency on his account and through a number of examples. And I'm not gonna go into all of the details because I want you to go watch his video, because I think it is very important. In fact, I think you should go watch his video and subscribe and like, because this particular video, I think it is very telling about why promoted listings doesn't work. So, and there's I got other hodgepodge things that I've been writing down. I needed to take a couple days to get some work done around the house, get some stuff done on eBay, of which I didn't even get everything done. And then late last night, I was on Facebook Marketplace, and this guy, he had, I'll show you. He had these like poly bag mailers. They're like 13 by 9 that he was just giving away. He had like 3,000 of them. So I don't know what I was thinking. I go there. First off, I didn't think he was going to have them left, and he did. And apparently they had been up on for a long time. So, you know, I go for a drive, and I get there. I could only take like a third of them. They're in these massive boxes, and I could only fit 2 boxes in my back seat, because I guess in my mind I didn't know what size the boxes would be. I couldn't even fit the box in my trunk, so I had to actually take them out of the boxes, put them in my trunk. It was a whole ordeal. So I'm going to go back and get them because they're free, and they're perfect for, like, I can cut them in half and use them for buttons and patches. And the thing about buttons and patches, sometimes if you mail them, you want to make sure you don't use like a tiny envelope all the time, because they can get lost, right? One time a couple weeks ago, one of the envelopes just got lost from my shipper, and I was just like, so anyhow, free inventory. Free shipping supplies. I will take that all day. Especially, they're really nice. So I asked the guy. Apparently it was a failed business venture. So it says 10-minute smile on there. It's kind of hard to even see. Apparently it was a failed business venture with selling teeth whitening strips. So, but the guy had a Lamborghini in his garage, so I'm sure he's doing well. All right, let's start off with the item takedown. I don't even have it, but it was a comic book. It was called Little Girls, for those who missed that video. It was a horror comic. Like, it was like the little girl was possessed. And it was taken down. I was given a warning on my account saying that I was selling basically like sexually suggestive or pornography, I guess you could call it. It wasn't an artificial intelligence takedown. An agent took it down. So I called in the first time to submit a dispute. It happened last Saturday. Not the Saturday we just had, like 10 days ago. Or, yeah, 10 days, 9 days ago? Whatever, 10 days ago. And so they went through the process. She had to submit. She had to go to her supervisor to approve the appeal. Then it was sent in. They said, wait 3 days. I waited 3 days. I didn't hear anything. Called back. Did the whole thing again. That's call number 2. Call number 3 was like Thursday. Call number 4, Saturday. Basically, every time I called in, they had no information. No information as to, every time I submitted an appeal, they were going to be like, you will be notified within 2 to 3 business days. You might be like, why are you wasting your time? Well, at some point in time, I know I'll probably make a mistake and sell something that I'm not supposed to. I don't know. I can screw things up on my own. I don't need eBay putting any kind of warning or defects on my account that I'm not responsible for. Finally, I called in today. I'm like, this is the 5th time I've called in. I want this resolved. Funny thing is, I get a lady in the trust and safety department who I'd already spoken to last week. So she remembered me. She says to me, this has already been taken care of. She's like, it's already been removed. We've admitted that it was our fault. She's like, but I'm seeing here that you didn't receive any kind of notification. She's like, I don't know why. She's like, I'm looking at it right now and I can see it on your account that it's not there, but it was never linked to the actual item. So problem solved. But sometimes for me, it comes down to a matter of principle as well. It's like, you guys mess up, admit it, fix it, and let's move on. It's just sad and pathetic that it took 5 calls to get this taken care of. I knew that I was in the right. I'm not going to relist it on the site. Not even interested in. I'll just list it on Hip Comics because if it was taken down one time, my thoughts is it can be taken down again. So why even bother, to be honest with you, right? All right, next point I want to get to. Sorry, my slipper came off. This is going to be really vague because I don't really want to get into who it was or... I watched a video and in it was information that particular reseller was coming at from a point of view which resonated with me because of the topic. And then later on, I learned information that pretty much invalidated his entire argument. Now, the fighter, I don't know if that's the right word for it, but the part of me that wants to talk about it, there's like a part of me when I see something that's not right, I want to talk about it. However, this is not my fight. Maria tells me all the time, you don't want to, you don't, like, sometimes I'll be watching, a reseller and there's just something off about something. Maybe there's inconsistencies in the message. Maybe there are little red flags that I can't quite put my finger on, but it just causes me to be like, about somebody. And there's part of me that wants to like talk about that. And Maria's always like, you don't want to get into that. That's not your fight. That's not why you're here. That's not part of your message. And it's absolutely true. And I guess my message here is just to trust your gut with, the particular people that you follow. Know that we are only getting one side of the story. And just, be aware. Be aware that, some people may or may not be who you thought they were. Yeah. Sorry, it's so vague. It's just like, I got nothing more for you on this topic. It's probably not even worth bringing up, but I wanted to say something without saying something. So All right, the next thing I want to do is I want to introduce you guys to Kevin, who is the Stoic Reseller. And he did a video the other day, and it's basically, I love his thumbnail, the biggest lie eBay is telling us. And in it, he essentially debunks through his account. He is very transparent, which is important. He gives examples across multiple categories. And he basically will make a very compelling case that promoted listings don't even work. In fact, I think everybody should go there and watch this video and try to prove him wrong. Primo Chemo, he is not promoting at all, and he is seeing sales. Now, to get those sales, he has to reset his entire store every day, but it is still possible to get organic sales on the platform. Josh was talking about how the platform has changed today, and we have to just accept it. And to some degree, that is absolutely true. We have to accept that the platform has changed and navigate it in a way that suits each of our businesses, whatever that looks like. And, in my opinion, look for other ways to move your inventory. I think it's completely imperative. Like I was talking with Jack the other day, one of the things that eBay has done, has forced me to do, is to up my local game. I realize that's not an option for everybody. And if eBay went back to the way it was before, I would still be building my online, my local presence in the same way that I'm doing now, because I've had such success at it. I like it. I would, with rising shipping costs, it just makes sense to start selling certain items local. So in a way, the changes that eBay has forced me to do, in a way, I'm kind of thankful, and I wouldn't go back. So because they forced me to do that, they miss out on sales. Like they really care. I'm just one person. But other people are doing it. Other people are cross-listing, starting their own website, and doing whatever else they can do to alter the way they conduct business, because the platform has changed. And yes, it has changed. And yes, they're super happy. eBay is super happy about it. But it's still early. It's going to be interesting to look back, 2 to 3 years from now, to see how this all plays out. But anyhow, back to Kevin. I'm just going to touch upon a few things, he makes a couple really interesting points. One of those is he noticed that the verbiage, and I love this. I love this because I wish I was smart enough to have caught this, but the verbiage for promoted listings, the way they promoted it, is they said sellers who promoted eBay's suggested rate will see 25% more sales. That was what they used to say. Now they say clicks, impressions. And I've always talked, and he gives examples, and I've always talked, if you're a carnivore or you're a steak eater, and you get shown vegetables as impressions, you're not even going to look at them. Those are garbage impressions. And he talks a lot about that. He's very well spoken. He's very well thought out. He makes a very strong case. He backs it up again with examples. And I think this is, anytime I see somebody in the community helping the community, being transparent, providing value to the community. Just like when I found Primo, I was like, man, this guy, he needs a wider audience. and Kevin, people like him, this is why I'm always like, feed that YouTube algo. Let's get the reach out there, because some of the most amazing people that I have met, Jet, there's another fellow that I met who was doing the reset since June. His name is eluding me, but if he's watching, we spoke on the phone about a month and a half ago. I hope all's well on your front. But I'm positive that there's more invaluable people out there in the community that we just haven't reached yet. So that's why it's really important to share, to hit that bell icon, do all the things to feed the YouTube algo so we can extend our reach, so we can, through crowdsourcing, we can all help each other out. Good news is it sounds like Motorcycle Dork, through Jet's implementation and helping him, he's now starting to see some sales. So let's hope to see that continues. So Kevin will take you through his journey of how he went from promoting to not promoting, to what happened to his account after that, and what he does. And he will show you his stats and his back office, and he'll show you, everything, but it's all about like promotions equal impressions. And the higher it is promoted, those items are presented to potential customers, but that doesn't guarantee a sale. Impressions don't, and this is why I always say impressions are worthless. It's page views which count to potentially get a sale. And he also makes a very strong case as to why promoted listings is a negative experience for buyers as well. So with that being said too, I wanted to, there were some comments from a few videos ago. I really needed to take a couple days off. I was watching James today, and sometimes I feel like him too. Sometimes I feel like, how many videos do I have in me, when sometimes it feels like we're just rehashing the same thing. That's why I needed to take an extra day off today before making another video. All right, so the first comment is from Patricia, Hair Supply. And this is I think all of these are in regards to promoted listings. When a company makes an advertising buy, say in a publication or cable TV show, their decision on their buy is based on the demographics that they want to reach and how that goal lines up with the audience demographics and audience size of the publication or program, tempered by budget. The spend is focused as much as possible on maximum impressions on the target audience. Keyword there is target. This is why I feel that we need more transparency with promoted listings, just to find out if they're targeted. And I don't think that they are, and I don't think that they will want to share that information. YouTube does this in an even more refined degree for its advertisers, as does Google, Meta, etc. How does PL fit these ideas? We don't get any choice or even any post hoc reports on where the impressions are offered by eBay. Visibility, as eBay uses the term, is like a preacher's black robe. It can cover a multitude of sins, including the inverse, invisibility, which feels a lot like nice listings you have there. Would be a shame if no one could see it. Yeah, it's a nice Sopranos reference. The one, the only toast. Also, with the promoted, saying you want more transparency and control, that's literally what the pay-per-click system is. eBay knows full well they can't give it. 100,000 sellers, all promoting at 13%, the top spot in the same category, so they have to put the impressions elsewhere. Honestly, the transparency or visibility in views don't matter that much. Your GMV is far more important. Where you stand on the platform in comparison to other sellers in the same category is more important. For example, I'm one of the top 10 sellers on the platform in a specific category. That category says other sellers promote at 16%. I promote at 4%. My item regularly gets higher placement in that category, often in the top 3 spots, over other sellers in the same category. Your GMV tells you a lot about your store. I suggest focusing on that in the categories you are strongest in. Visibility and impressions don't equal sales. So true. Ames W says, before I get any deeper into the video, let me comment this. Your sales being up doesn't really mean anything. It's just a number. What is important and what matters is your net profit. Sales can be up 25%, but if the net profit is down, the gross means nothing. Shipping has gone up, cost of goods have gone up, costs to sell have gone up. Everything is costing more. Are you actually making money? That is the question. That's a great point. Now, my response, I didn't copy my response there, but a lot of what I have bought, I haven't really been buying that many things over the last 2 to 4 months. And a lot, I get my stuff. I'm good at buying. I buy a lot of lots. I'm really good. But yes, exactly. Cost of goods, no doubt, has gone up. I'm up a couple percentage points in my promoted listings. And I think I know, like, I want to get out of the promoted listings game. I know what I need to do that. I don't believe you can just stop promoting if everything else isn't perfect, meaning your descriptions, item specifics, like everything, like pricing. So I know that I need to get my pricing in order, because in my opinion, I would rather pass on that savings to the customer. But in the meantime, the reset is what I'm doing. Promoted listings is doing, and also things are, even though sales have been kind of not that good over the last couple days, and you'll get to see a couple sales at the end of the video, but I haven't been keeping track of everything. Yesterday was actually a really bad day. And for me, historically, the week of Black Friday generally is not that good for me. Type of things that I sell, people are normally looking for Black Friday deals. Even as we get closer to Christmas, my sales normally lull the last couple weeks of December, and then after Christmas is done, and then in January, like I think January last year, I had a monster year. But who knows? Things have changed since then, but we'll see. But anyhow, where was I even going with that? Yes, my costs costs have gone up, but only by a couple percentage points. I noticed that the USPS put out a notice saying how they raising the rates again pretty soon, and eBay got to be licking their chops at that every time they do a price increase. I mean, they should just they should have that in their strategies in the earnings, like strategies on how they plan on growing their profits. Final value fees and promoted listing fees on USPS shipping rate increases. Just Kath says, totally off topic, but just noticed this as I'm listening to your video. When I search on the app for an item, there used to be a heart on the actual listing that I could click to watch an item without actually going into the listing. That's gone now. I have to go into the listing and put it in my watch list. Assuming this has something to do with pay-per-click, another money generator for eBay. Now people can't watch an item without clicking on it. Oh, that is interesting. That's pretty accurate. I would think yes. Yes, they need people to actually click on it so they can count that as an impression. Good one. Kent Hamilton says, hi Jeff, 26-year-old eBay seller here that sells everything, primarily sports cards. The reason they want everyone to open up their social media to them is so when they go 100% to pay-per-view click, then they can make a ton more money, because some of these sellers have hundreds of thousands of followers, and in some cases, I'm guessing millions. Can you imagine how many people would go to these people's accounts just to look? Thus, all the views, clicks they'd rack up on their accounts. I'm not on social media because I'm a supporter of the party that the demons hate, so I'd get banned in 1 point something seconds when I have tried social media. Anyways, thanks for all the great content. Just some context from my above comment. I list 7 to 8 items a day and usually sell the same, but now, like a lot of sellers, I'm down 50 to 60%. My summer was actually pretty good. My crash didn't happen until the beginning of September, and in the years past, September, October, and most of November were my best months. No longer. Posh, local sales, etc. Here I come. When I first started in 97, I was the largest seller of shoes and boots on eBay. I remember when you searched shoes, only 200 to 500 pairs would come up. When you searched boots, 75 to 250 pairs would come up. The good old days. Now there are literally tens of millions of both. I was a full-time seller until 2006-ish. Then I had to get a job because tens of millions of sellers joined and I could no longer make a living doing it. So I've been part-time ever since, but I put in more hours than most full-time sellers do. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks for that comment, Ken. Appreciate it. There was something that I wanted to comment about that. I lost it. And finally, I wanted to ask you guys a question, and I apologize if I've already talked about this. I can't. Sometimes I get confused between what I've talked about, what I've thought about, and what I've written down and because I wrote this down and I can't remember. But anyhow, have you ever been out at a thrift store? You go to comp something on your phone and you're looking at closed sales, and then you're looking at ones that are for sale, and you kind of, based on what people are asking and through closed sales, you try to get an idea of, what the value of the item is. And then you get home, log on, you get on your desktop, your laptop, and you're seeing prices like 30 or more percent lower. Has that ever happened to you? Because it's happened to me a number of times. And at first I just thought, maybe I'm just, maybe I just looked at, I don't know really what I thought. And then somehow me and Jack were talking about this, and he sees the same thing, and he's speculating, maybe, it's difficult to navigate on the cell phone lots of times, even though a lot of people only do their shopping on that. So maybe eBay's only showing the higher priced items on there, trying to capture a higher average selling price. Let's see here. It's a smaller screen. You're looking down. Maybe they're trying to capitalize on impulse buys. Do you guys have any thoughts? Have you experienced this? Any speculation as to, what the reason why that might be? I know I joked about eBay staying out of my social networks on my last video. Man, I had a dream last night. eBay was in my dream. I don't exactly, how when you try to remember what your dream is. All I know is there was a group of us that were trying to break into, not break into, but get into a museum or some sort of, there was a speech going on. There was a celebration. And I don't remember much, but I remember the speaker somehow ended up where we were at. And he was talking about how he was responsible for new taxation. This is so funny. New taxation on a new patented item or service. I don't even know. And I just remember as he was explaining it to me in my dream, I somehow made the correlation that I said, oh, so you're no better than eBay. Because in my dream, I was thinking about how promoted listings was like a tax. And so I was saying to this guy, I was comparing what he did to what eBay is doing with promoted listings. It's insane that I I can't even have a peaceful night's sleep without thinking about eBay. So with that said, guys, feed that YouTube algo. I'll link Kevin's YouTube, the video that he did. You'll be able to find his YouTube channel that way. Check it out. It's definitely worth watching. Primo did a nice live today. I'll link that in the bio. And there'll be a few sales that I did. I think I filmed them a couple days ago, like maybe 3 or 4 minutes worth of things that I felt worth sharing. You know, hopefully your guys' sales. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody in the States. And we will talk to you guys soon. Peace and blessings, guys. Take care. Somebody local is buying all 4 of these for $85. Some of these Bath and Body Works that are discontinued, these body mists, they can go for good money. Now, they're not sealed. They don't come sealed. The cap can just come off and you can just spray it. In fact, one of them has a little bit used. I used to list these on eBay, but health and beauty stuff scares the heck out of me on eBay. If things aren't sealed, they technically can consider them used or tampered with, and just the policies, you get the wrong agent, you can have problems. So I don't even mess with these kinds of things. I used to sell so many different obscure kind of health and beauty things that I would find locally at different thrift stores that they would miss, but now it's a category that I just don't like to even mess with because of eBay, because of the way they are, and because of their like no tolerance, zero counterfeit, and all that BS. I just, they're not going to make money off of me on a health and beauty anymore. But yeah, these are selling locally. All right, I just want to show you a few sales, and I want to talk to you for a second about this particular transaction and what happened. And yeah, so the other day I showed you a print that had the same kind of border. I sold it locally for $20. I bought that print and this print together. I believe I paid $3 for both of them at a thrift store. They're not perfect. They have some damage, but the insides, they're beautiful. And I mean, I don't know how rare they are or whatnot or whatever. I had them listed on eBay for, I think it was $59.99 for both of them. So somebody made me an offer for $20. I decided, you know what, I'll take it. And then I relisted this one for, I don't know why I did it. I relisted it for $49.97, knowing it was going to get sucked into a sale, knowing I would probably accept lower. And somebody made me an offer today for $40 on this one. So they both sold for about what I wanted for both of them. One sold local and then one sold on eBay. And I just think that that's pretty awesome. I could have said no to the local sale. I could have kept them together. Quite possibly the person who bought this might have only wanted this one and passed over because he didn't want to buy them both. Who knows the motivations of buyers? But in this economy, we got to just keep stuff churning. Be flexible. Be willing to break up lots. That's what I think. Take it with a grain of salt. This sold for $43, including shipping. It's old. It works. It reminds me of my grandfather. It's just a cool little piece. I got this at a garage sale at some point over the summer. It's just a cool little piece. Happy to see it go. All right, Sunday morning. These are my wake up sales. 5 Street Fighting Series VHS. It kind of looks like, who is that? Matthew McConaughey a little bit, if you look quickly in that picture, but he kind of looks like Jean-Claude Van Damme there. So I had bought a banana box full of VHS from a thrift store for like $30, and these sold for $49 including shipping, and I'm gonna actually try to upsell them the other ones I have. This Spawn comic sold for Hip Comics for $25 shipped. This is really beautiful. It's an indigenous First Nations print. I believe it's signed, but I'm not exactly sure. But man, look at that. Just stunning. That sold for $31, including shipping. A vintage Buffalo Sabres patch, 24 shipped, nothing special there. This Pink Floyd concert ticket, 19 shipped. The guy messaged me. He went to this concert back in the day, and he lost his, so he wanted to replace it. I accepted a little bit lower of an offer because I was touched by his message. This Datsun button sold for 17 shipped. I listed this last night. It sold within an hour. So I don't know if there's something special about it, but this plushie, brand new. This sold locally. It's got the guy's coming to pick it up today. It's like one of those death. I don't know. It's something to do with a plague death person, the person who holds like a lantern when people are dying. I don't remember, but I had this listed on eBay. Couldn't sell it on eBay. This is also getting sold today. It's a beautiful like bamboo. I don't actually know what it is, to be honest with you. It's like some sort of decorative something. We bought it for $7. Maria wanted it, like, but she didn't know what she was going to do with it. It sat and then she was like, you know what? I like it, but I don't know what to do with it. I ended up, I'm going to flip it today for $60. So hope your guys' sales are doing well.